Welcome to Source BMX. I'm Van Homan here in Hastings, England for the Battle of Hastings with Fiend rider, unsung street hero, Matt Closson. Matt, before we dive into the specifics about this bike, I kind of want to know, like you're a working man, you know, how do you stay motivated, going to work every day and still getting completely savage in the streets?
I would say it kind of comes naturally. It's something that if you love, you know, like I love BMX, it keeps me sane, keeps me going, and having this kind of thing and this like family of people that are all involved with it outside of work, it gives me something to do, something to like keeps me driven and gives me like a little sense of, you know, respect and thing throughout the community that keeps me going. So it's cool.
Yeah, I absolutely love it, man. I always look forward to your savage clips. So keep it going.
Appreciate that, man. You're a big influence on me, big time.
All right, Matt, let's dive in to your Fiend build. You're riding the Reynolds 20.75 top tube. This thing has the elevated chain stays, which give a little bit more ground clearance. What else should we know about this frame, and why do you like it and choose to ride it?
Well, I mean, first off, if Garrett can ride it and it handles his riding, then I think it's pretty good to go. The geometry is pretty modern, but it's also pretty chill compared to some frames, so I really like that because I like to ride everything. Sturdy, I've never had issues with breaking one or cracking anything, so trustworthy, good geometry, and it'll handle the streets.
Yeah, it definitely seems like more of a compact frame, like relatively short back end, you know, steeper head tube. So how does this thing help you handle the streets, and what type of tricks does it help you get done?
Honestly, you know, getting older, it definitely helps my lower back. I'll say that much. Definitely helps with the back. I think like rail tricks are a little easier with the compact frame. Everything seems right under you. So when you're riding rails and you're doing technical stuff, it all seems it fits like right there with you.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of look at this bike as more of a responsive type of frame.
Exactly. Very responsive, but not too much to where, you know, when you're coming out of tricks or you're doing nosies, it's not too steep and it still feels comfortable.
Perfect. Okay, Matt, so you've got the Fiend Invest 26 millimeter offset forks. What do we need to know about these forks, and why do you choose the 26 millimeter offset?
These forks I've been running for a few years now. I really like them. They're strong, and I choose the 26 millimeter because for today's standards, it's the more mellow of the head tube angle or the angle of the forks. So I like the 26 millimeter angle, a little more mellow for riding bowls, and it's still steep enough for when I'm riding street, I can still have that responsive feel.
Okay,
so.
Perfect. Okay, Matt, you also ride for premium. You've got some of the premium components on this bike. Let's talk about Chad Curley. You've got his handlebars, you've got his grips. The bars have the internal butted tubing for added strength where it needs to be, but not where it doesn't, which keeps the bars a bit lighter.
Yeah, I've been loving all CK's parts. I mean, obviously Chad's the man, so I try my best to ride the signature parts of people I respect. And the grips, I really like the thin feel of the grips, nice feel to them, and the handlebars, nice, sturdy. And for me, they come almost like a pre-cut size that I like.
Okay.
So they're perfect. Right out of the box, I don't cut them, I don't do anything. I just put them right on, throw the grips on, and it runs. So.
And what rise? You got 9-inch rise on these?
I do the 9-inch. I'm a shorter guy, so 9-inch is perfect for me.
Okay. How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
Okay. All right, while we're on this Chad Curley kick, let's just jump right to your tires.
I'll be honest, I got these tires the first time a few years ago, and I haven't tried another one since. They're amazing. Chad did a good job with these ones. They have good sidewall, it's strong. They're light though, and the tread is good on all terrain. So street, park, dirt, whatever you ride, these tires will get it done.
And you're riding the 2.4?
Yep, 2.4, nice and wide for those tire rides.
Yeah, which is also good because the Fiend forks are designed to accommodate the larger tires.
Yeah, so these forks and also Garrett's frame has a wide back end. So with it slammed, you can still run the 2.4 and you won't hit at all.
Now, like you said, you like to ride bowls. I see you doing some really savage street tricks, also some really technical things. So what tire pressure do you choose for this well-rounded style of riding?
I try to do between 50 and 55 PSI. Like if I'm going to go to a bowl or ride, I'll usually pump it up a few more PSI, okay. But in the streets about 50. So.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, for the well-rounded tricks that you do, I know some guys are riding really low pressure, but you like to go fast, so I'm thinking you need a little bit more in there.
Yeah, and I'm not too big of a guy, so the 50 PSI is still almost enough, for when I'm riding bowls too. So
yeah.
it's nice.
All right, Matt, you have the Fiend Lewis Mills top load stem. This thing has external machining to keep the weight down. It's also a little bit wider to provide more clamping power. So why do you choose this stem? Your bars stay in place. Break it down for us.
The loose stem is cool because it's a top load, but it's really flat, so it doesn't give you too much rise. So you almost get the front load feel with the top load stem, which is what I really like about it. And I mean, honestly, with big drops and everything, I never have issues with my bars moving, so I can't complain at all about the stem. I love it.
All right, Matt, you've got the Fiend Team V2 cranks. This is kind of a unique design. Also, I noticed it's a 2.5 piece crank. I don't really know what a 2.5 piece crank means exactly. So you can explain these cranks to us, please?
Yeah, so when you get them, your one crank arm is pretty much already connected to the spindle, which keeps it nice. So you only have to put on your one crank arm and match it to the one side. And I don't know if it makes it stronger or it keeps it in place more, but I do like the design. It's really simple to put on, and they're really strong cranks. And if you like to do crank arm grinds, they sit nice on the rail. So I really like these Fiend cranks.
Well, where again? Okay, so that's typical to a two-piece crank where you only have one bolt, which I personally love. But where's the 0.5 come in?
I think the fact that the spindle can slip out of the other side of the crank arm still is maybe where the 2.5 comes from. Because the crank arm can still come off the spindle, but it just slips right in.
Oh, it has to go the long way.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I see.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
2.5.
Okay, what about this extra bolt? You have this, I don't know what you want to call this, kind of like a locking mechanism or something, but you also have this bolt here so that the crank doesn't ever get loose on the spindle?
Yeah, I think maybe Fiend is the only cranks that have these. It's a pinch bolt, essentially like your stem. So you tighten your cranks down, and then you tighten that pinch bolt down, and your cranks won't come loose. So kind of a cool little added bolt in there.
Yeah, I like it, because you're used to like the old school like pinch bolt style, which is kind of bulky and, probably bad for your ankles, but this thing's nice and clean, kind of internal.
It's very true. I haven't thought about cranks with the top pinch bolt in a while, but yeah, killed your ankles and wasn't the best look. But now, yeah, way cleaner, and it does do its job. It holds it in place.
Okay, Matt, you've got the premium Team Sprocket with the guard. The Team Sprocket's a pretty classic, solid design. It's also very affordable. And then you have the plastic guard on here. Why do you choose this sprocket, and why do you choose the external plastic guard?
I like the Sprocket. It's kind of an old school look with the solid sprocket. It doesn't have any holes in it, and it's a pretty cool look because it has the logo on there. You throw the guard on, helps a lot when you're doing crooked grinds, just different things like if you bail your bike or whatever and your sprocket hits, it really protects the chain, which, breaking your chain mid-session is always a hassle. So having that little guard on there, that little extra protection definitely helps with grind tricks.
Is there a reason you choose the external like plastic guard versus some of the like one-piece full alloy guards?
I like the plastic guard because you can replace it and it's light. So if it cracks or it breaks, you can just throw a new one on super quick, and then it's a cool, effective way, but it's still light.
All right, Matt, while we're on the drivetrain, let's talk about the premium slim pedals.
I would say the slim pedals are pretty classic. I used to run them back in the day, the metal versions, and I really liked them. And now that I'm on the team and I can get the plastic versions, I run them. They're wide and a lot of room for your feet. So if you do whips or you do stuff where you take your feet off, you got that nice big pedal body to put your feet back on, but it also keeps that slim, clean look. So I'm a big fan of the slim pedals.
Perfect. And while we're on the premium products, what about your seat setups? Kind of seems like a good middle-of-the-road size.
Yeah, I like to try to keep my bike clean, simple looking. Almost not the slam seat look, but not the crazy high seat post like some guys are doing now. But I like to keep it clean, and the seat itself not too bulky, but try to keep it nice and simple.
All right, Matt, now let's get down to your wheels. You were telling me that you have like a pretty special wheel build set up here, so just break these down.
Yeah, I get the premium hubs, and then I laced them up to the Garrett Reynolds Cinema rims. I'm just a big fan of the rims. They're really strong. They got a nice look. Back hub is the premium planetary style hub, which I've been a big fan of. Been on it for a little over a year now. I like it more than a traditional free coaster now that I've had it. a little lighter. Your bike feels a little lighter in the back end. No slack whatsoever. So you turn around from fakies and you just get going. You can pedal. You can do tire taps, put pedal pressure and all that stuff. So I've been really enjoying the planetary style hub. It's cool.
Yeah, that's perfect. So I mean, the benefits of a free coaster without the slack.
Yeah, I feel like it's something we talked about for years in BMX. Like there should be a a hub that you can essentially roll backwards without having slack, and I think it's finally here. And even for guys who do a lot of fakie tricks, you don't have too much trouble with engagement, and you can get right back to pedaling when you turn around.
Yeah, and then back to the Reynolds Fiend rims too. If I'm not mistaken, these are a bit of a wider rim for more stability.
Yeah, and the wider rim, it's more stable, and they're also kind of deep, which I feel gives you a shorter spoke length, and then it makes the wheels a little stronger as well.
All right, Matt, you do a lot of grinds, so let's talk about your pegs. You've got the premium plastic pegs. You choose the alloy core, which I always find it interesting. Some riders are really adamant about the chrome core, some prefer the alloy. So why is this your peg of choice?
Well, I mean, with the plastic pegs, hopefully your goal is to never have to grind on the metal part. So I kind of feel if you can have a strong enough alloy peg that's light, it's kind of the best option. I've been enjoying these pegs. They're pretty standard. They're 4.5, pretty standard size. But I have these peg sleeves have been on my bike for like over 6 months and they haven't broke yet. So to have a peg sleeve last this long, I'm pretty appreciative and surprised that it's been this long. So.
I mean, especially with some of the savage stuff you do.
Appreciate that, but yeah, it's somehow, yeah, and I'm almost like trying to keep them going now for as long as I can to see how much I can get out of like a $5 part, So.
So they're affordable then. These pegs are affordable.
Yeah, the plastic sleeves are cheap, and then the pegs themselves are affordable. So you get a whole set of 4, and then from then on, the sleeves will last you a while. Just get sleeves when you need them, and they'll keep you running.
Yeah, perfect. You heard it here first. Matt, thank you for sharing your Fiend premium build with Source BMX today. Everybody out there, make sure to check out the Source Bike Builder. There you can get pricing, specs, and availability on everything Matt Closson is riding. sourcebmx.com.